fellow human beings, welcome to my beginner sewing course, which is all about bags, you'll be pleased to know. When you have finished watching this lovely free lesson that I'm doing for you, hop over to my website, leanneshelley.com, and you can purchase the rest of the course, which you can get as individual lessons, or buy the whole course together for a discounted price. And I'm sure they're going to be very good. So when you finish this lesson and you love it, which I'm sure you will, then just, go and buy the rest. And then you'll be able to sew by the end of it. I've chosen bags for this course because they can be relatively easy to make, and each bag can incorporate different skills which can be used on a multitude of sewing projects. And the last bag you make will be a lined tote bag, which will have a zipped inner pocket and a larger outer pocket, which will be buttoned, optional, you don't have to have that. Each lesson will have written instructions and pattern pieces where needed. The smaller bags you won't need pattern pieces for, it's easier just to take the measurements and just draw the bags out, draw the patterns out. I think that's it, other than to say I hope you enjoy this lesson, this free lesson that I'm giving you, which will be basically me threading a machine whilst you watch, which will be fun for you, and then just sort of teaching you how to use a machine, press the pedal down, stuff like that, and then just using some basic stitches, like going forwards and backwards. Anyway, I hope you like it and don't get too annoyed with me. I will do my best to make it enjoyable for you. Even this just took me a long time to set up so that I wasn't down here or like up here. So yeah, enjoy. I know. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to show you how to wind a bobbin up, just like in the song. This is a bobbin. They come in many colours. This is a blue one. It already has thread on it, but I'm going to wind more on so that you can see. Said more on. Right. So, and this is your spool or thread or cotton or whatever you want to call it. Stick it on this bit. Sometimes your stick for putting your cotton on sticks upwards. Mine goes sideways. They're all very different. This little thing goes on the end. I don't know what it's called, so I'm going to call it the sticky end thing. And then for winding the bobbin up, you put it around the metal piece here. There is a picture here which says to put it around that bit. Most machines do have these little diagrams to help you along your way. Then put the bobbin on this little stick. Wind some of the cotton around it, quite a lot actually, to stop it from slipping off, and then you push that over there towards this. This is the sensor. It senses when the bobbin has enough thread on it, and then it stops. Now all you have to do is plug the pedal in, which I should have done beforehand. I didn't. I'm doing it now. And then press go. I'm kneeling on it because this is a low table. And it should go round and round. There you are, it's going round and round. And that is threading the bobbin, winding the bobbin up. On my machine I have a little button which changes the speed, so at the moment it's on the slowest. If I go there, it's on the fastest. If you're just doing a small project, obviously you don't need to wind the bobbin up to full capacity. You can just do a little bit. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Then you push the bobbin off, pull it off, and then you snip the cotton like so, and then I will show you how to wind this, but that involves moving camera. So okay, so now I'm going to show you how to thread up the machine, as I said before. Or did I say that before? I don't know. Anyway, all machines are different. The basics are the same, it's just they may look a little bit different. This one, the thread goes behind this plastic bit. I've got some thread in there which I shall take out. Thread goes behind this plastic bit. Make sure it's hooked in. Down here, I'm going to have to now move the camera so you can see. Pretty tricky. Very professional this is, as you can see. The thread then goes underneath here. See, it says number 2, up or down and under, and it comes back up. My machine's broken because my dog knocked it on the floor. Now this little hook here comes up and down as you move this. You need to hook the thread over that, so you need to turn the dial so that it comes popping out the top like a little alien head. Wrap that around. Should be easier. Okay, so stop shaking camera. Hopefully you can see what's going on here. The thread has come back down through here, and then there's a little hook just here. Most machines will have some sort of hook around here to hook the thread behind. I don't know if you can get that close. Hang on. Can you see that hook? And then there's another hook just here. Again, most machines will have one hook here and then another hook on the needle itself to stop the thread getting tangled up whilst you're sewing. So then that goes behind that one. I don't know if you can see that very well. Maybe I should have used a different colour thread. I hope you can see that. And then you just thread it through the needle. Some machines have a needle threading device. Mine does actually. This thing here. See what it does there? That's the needle threading device. It's difficult to see exactly what it's doing, but as it comes down, a little piece of metal sticks through the hole or the eye of the needle, and then somehow you're supposed to hold that down whilst doing this. So stop shaking. Stop shaking. What you do is you place it under there like that, and underneath the little hook that's gone through the needle, and then when you let go, make sure you let go of the thread as well. It pulls the thread through out the back. Okay, so now the needle is threaded, and somehow the thread's changed colour. Ooh, look at that. Now we need to sort the bobbin out. Sorry about that. I have to move the camera again so you can see this. So the bobbin on this machine goes here. sometimes on some machines it will go underneath. There'll be like a little door here, a trap door that opens, and then the bobbin goes in here. This one is a top loading bobbin, and it opens by pushing this to one side, taking that off. The bobbin, the way it's threaded, should go, it does on this one anyway, most of the time it is, even if it's that way, the bobbin thread goes anti-clockwise. It's difficult to show you. As you can see, it's coming from the left, and that's how it goes in, like there. If I can get this a bit closer, might be helpful. Bobbin's a tricky one. So you now have to hook the thread on this one. There's a little hole just here. You need to put the thread in so that it hooks around this metal bit here. Not that metal bit, this metal bit. It hooks around there like that. So it's, the thread's coming back on itself. Wherever you have to hook it, the thread needs to come back on itself. If it's going around like that on the bobbin, or if you hook it the other way and it's going around like that, if it doesn't come back on itself, it means there's no tension, and then when you sew it, the thread will be loose when you're stitching, which obviously you don't want. Now we have to turn the dial at the end of the machine, the one that moves the needle up and down. Do one full turn so the needle goes down and back up again, and then just pull the thread that's from the top of the machine. If it gets stuck, just sort of wiggle the wheel again, and that should release it. And then pull the top thread, which will pull the bottom thread up, the bobbin thread, and then just grab the bobbin thread and pull that up. I hope you can see what I'm doing and it's all making sense. And then you pop that thing back on, or close the door, trap door, if that's what you've got, a side loading one or front loading one. This is a top loading one. And they're all different. And if you need more help, like I said, go on to the website or find a video that's specific for your machine maybe. But they generally are pretty similar, where the thread goes across, down, up, down, through a hook, through another hook, and through the needle. And then pick the bobbin up from the bottom. Okay, we shall do some basic stitching now. Okay, looking at basic stitching, really all you need is straight stitch for all the things that I'm going to show you. The only other thing is a buttonhole if you want to do the buttonhole on the tote bag. But if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. Zigzag stitch is a good one to know as well. On other machines, plenty of other machines, most machines, you have dials, not this computer screen going on here, which makes it tricky for me to show you, but obviously they're all different anyway. But normally you'll have a dial, probably here or here, 2 dials. And one of them has stitching, what type of stitching, and the other one will sort of change the length or the width of the stitching. With this one, obviously the numbers correlate to the type of stitching, so if I'm on number 1, that'd be straight stitch. On this one, if you have a Janome computery one, you use this button to change, that's the width of the stitch. So if you're doing zigzag, that will change the width of it. And then that's the length of the stitch. And it's always very low to start off with this one, so it makes tiny, tiny stitching, which is really difficult to unpick. So with this machine, I always go up so the stitching is a bit longer, so that when you make a mistake, which is because you always do, the unpicking doesn't take 5 days. The only other thing is that zigzag. Again, stitch width, bigger or wider, thinner, and then stitch length, which lengthens the stitch. The other buttons over here, this button moves the needle up and down. So if I press that, the needle goes down, and then every time you stop stitching, it will be in the down position. It makes it easier if you're turning on a corner, so you don't have to keep, when you lift the foot up, the needle stays in, then you just twist the fabric and carry on stitching. Makes that easier. And then when you want it to come back up again, you just press it, and then it breaks. It doesn't work very well. I don't know why I did that. Anyway. Oh, it's because I was pressing the wrong one. Yeah, so it's that one. Goes down. And then press that top one, yeah, to come back up again. This button here, you press it, and then when you push the pedal down, it just makes the needle go up and down and up and down and up and down for as long as you press the pedal down for. And you can do that at the beginning and the end of stitching, so that it sort of ties off the ends. Or you can press this button, which is the back button, so you'll press it and hold it whilst pressing the foot down, and it will stitch backwards, and you let go and it stitch forwards again. This is the tension button, automatic, I guess, and then to make the tension tighter, you would take the numbers higher, less you would go lower, and that all depends on the type of fabric that you're using and how thick the cotton is that you're using, and you would just alter those, and you'd have to practice with whatever fabric you're using to find the right setting so that the stitching is good on both sides. I think that's it for now. Probably should just get stitching. So this is a foot. This is a thing you press with your foot. I'm pressing it with my knee today because I'm on a very low table. So you put your bit of fabric under the foot. This foot, there's 2 feet. It's very confusing. Let's call the other one a pedal. And then there's a little button at the back. Maybe I should show you. There it is. Very difficult to see through here. There's the button. And this is the thing that moves the foot up and down. Okay. So lift that up, which it already is up, that's handy. Fabric underneath, foot down, press the pedal. To stop the thread, this thread tangling up when you first start sewing, you either hold the thread, just put your finger on it or hold it, and then it stops it being pulled underneath and getting tangled, or you can put the needle down and start with the needle in the fabric. If you haven't got that button, you just use the dial at the end to turn the needle down. And then you can start. So you can either press this button. If you don't have that button, you just go forwards. Not doing supposed to be doing straight stitch. Let's do straight stitch. Okay, let's do that again. So we go forwards and then press the back button. Some machines have back button here like that, or you might have like a lever here that you push down, or somewhere that you push down here like a lever. I'm sure you'll find it. So then carry on going forwards. I'm going to go a bit faster, maybe not that fast so you guys can see. And then when you want to turn a corner, obviously with this machine I can do it, so I can press this. But if you don't have that, when you stop, just turn the dial so that the needle's in the fabric. You lift the foot up, twist it round, put the foot back down. Do it a little closer back here. And then carry on. And then when you come to the end, stop, press the back button wherever yours is, go back, forwards again, lift the foot up, pull, make sure you don't cut it here, because if you cut it all the way up here, the thread just gets pulled underneath and then you have to rethread it again. So give a good bit of thread. Don't pull it while it's tight either, because it will ping back, so make sure it's loose. I know these all seem silly, but they just help. And then you've done your first bit of stitching, and the back, check the back is okay tension wise, and that one is fine. We'll go zigzag, put the foot in, on, down. Again, you can change the width and the length with zigzag, so it's probably a good idea to have a little play with that. So if I press normal zigzag, it's just going side to side. So that's the normal stitch of zigzag. If I make it wider, you would probably have a dial to do this, or on this one, go to the width, make it bigger, that's as far as it goes, and then stitch, and as you can see, the stitch length is wider. And then if you want to make the stitch length longer, you go to length, longer, and there you go, you've got a longer stitch there. And that length also changes the stitch length of the straight stitch. So that's that. I hope that you follow that. I'd like, if this was a live one, I guess you'd be able to ask me questions, but you can't. So maybe you could put questions at the bottom of this video and I will try to answer them. I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you found it very useful. Bye bye.